My name is Chuck Serbini, Curator of Birds at the Toledo Zoo, and we're at the Cassowary exhibit. Southern cassowary are from New Guinea and Northern Australia. Out of the 3 species of cassowary, this species is the only one found in Australia. The other 2 are isolated to New Guinea. At the Toledo Zoo, we have a brother and sister that live in 2 different exhibits, and they came here about 4.5 years ago. They're both 5 years old. Cassowary are unique birds. Morphologically, they're different than most other birds. They're flightless. They're a lot larger than most other birds because they are flightless. One of their most distinguishing characteristics is that big casque on their head. And what that actually is it's a structure that's covered in keratin, which is the same material that makes up our hair and fingernails. And even today, the exact function of that casque isn't well known. There's different theories, and the most recent one is that it has something to do with either receiving sound or being able to produce their sound. Even though cassowary are flightless, they still have wings. We call them vestigial wings. And that just means that the apparatus is still there, but it doesn't serve the function that it once did. So you may see on the sides of their bodies, they do have very, very tiny wings. And they do have, on the second digit of those wings, they have a tiny claw. They can run very fast. They could run up to 30 miles per hour. And they're astonishing jumpers. They could jump up to 5 feet in the air. Male and female cassowary look alike. It's a little difficult to tell male and female apart, but the females are usually a bit larger than the males, and that's common with all 3 species of cassowary. So at the Toledo Zoo, the male is noticeably smaller. He also has a smaller casque, and his wattles on his neck are a lot smaller than the females. The cassowary is a very important species in its ecosystem. They inhabit rainforests in New Guinea and Northern Australia, and they provide a very, very important service for the ecosystem. They're what we call a keystone species, which means other species in the ecosystem depend on a service they provide, and if you remove them from that ecosystem, there's huge drastic effects. What cassowary do that's very important to their ecosystems is, even though they look big and formidable and they can be aggressive, they're frugivores, meaning they eat fruit. They have a very short digestive system, and the fruit passes through them almost undigested, and the seeds are unharmed. So they're basically the gardeners of the rainforest. They spend the day foraging for fruit that's fallen, and they pass the seeds. And when they do, the seeds are in their droppings, which basically acts as like a Head Start potting mix kind of thing for the seeds. So that's a very important service that they provide. Unfortunately, they are disappearing in parts of their range. Globally, the southern cassowary is considered vulnerable, and in parts of Australia, it's considered endangered and they're protected. Some of the things that have affected cassowary negatively in their natural range are things like overhunting and young animals being taken as pets in New Guinea. In Australia, some of the big things that affect cassowary are clearing forests for human development and human interruption. Southern cassowary, that's the closest you'll probably get to working with a dinosaur. They belong to a group of birds that started evolving 60 million years ago in the Cretaceous period. So they are an ancient lineage of birds. And so you could see it in their behavior too. When you watch them walk, when you hear the noises they're making, it does remind you of Jurassic Park.